One of the most important thing about programming is you can do certain things repeatedly. Of course, we have talked about different things now. In normal software development, basically you work with data and that's why we have variables. So basically you can store your values. In normal application, you decide based on some values. And that's why we have seen if else, we have seen ternary operator, we have talked about switch statement. But then there are certain use cases where you might want to repeat the same thing multiple times. In fact, there are a lot of memes available which says, in our school time when teacher used to say, write this 100 times. What if you can just do that with the help of software? Write the same sentence multiple times. Not manually, but automatically. It should reiterate. It should iterate itself. And the way you can do that in programming is with the help of loops. Let me give an example here. So let's say I have a code here and I want to print something. Let's say I want to print here hi, and I want to print this hi multiple times, not once, but multiple times. Example, if I run this code now, it will only print hi once. If I want to print that multiple times, I can just copy this and I can just paste it multiple times here, let's say 4 times. And if I type it 4 times, of course, it will print the output in 4 times. We don't want 4 times. What we want is, we want to write this once and it should call itself multiple times. The way you can do that is by removing this part and by doing something. Maybe I can just say, I can just write in comments, I can say, repeat this statement 4 times. Maybe something like that. Of course, this will not work because comments are normally ignored by the compiler. But how do you do that? How do you mention Java, hey, I want to run this multiple times? And that's where the concept of loops comes into picture. So we have a concept like loops, which will reiterate the same thing. And there are multiple loops available in Java. With different languages, we have the same thing, or we can say similar thing. So we have something called a while loop. We have do while loop, and then we have a for loop. Now, mostly we use a for loop, but then we'll start with while and do while, and they have their own use cases. It's not like just because we have a for loop, we'll not be using while and do while. They have their own use cases. Now, just to give you a hint, maybe you want to repeat certain things multiple times, but then what will be the condition? Maybe you want to print that 100 times. That means there's a finite number. 5 times, 10 times, 8 times, 15 times, 20 times, 25 times, 100 times. Or maybe you want to do something based on some condition. Example, do something till I press the enter button. Do something till the system is alive. Okay, something like this. So maybe you want to do something finite times, or maybe you want to do something based on some condition. And for that, we have different types of loops available. So what is loop? Basically, if you want to do the same thing multiple times, you use loop. And there are multiple loops available: while loop, do while loop, and for loop. And there are multiple versions of for loop available, but we'll see the simpler version, which we call normal for loop. And yeah, that's what we have. We'll explore all these loops in the upcoming videos.